All right. Today we're going to talk about Bootify, which is essentially it's a website SaaS application that generates code and or Spring Boot applications. And let's see. I don't know if I actually want to start from another slide. This one here. Um, who has never used start.spring.io? You've never used that. Okay. Okay. Let me ask another question. Do you ever use Spring Boot or Spring?
I think it's a tutorial years
Oh,
ago.
okay.
Yeah.
So if you're starting from scratch, you have to set up a bunch of either a Gradle file or a Maven file, all the, everything that you need to use, all the dependencies, you have to do it by hand. If you go to start Spring.io, it's super easy. You just say what you want and what type of build you want, and then you just download it. And it's ready to go. But it doesn't do much else. Has anybody used JHipster? More than just a demo, like to actually used it, like not just played around with it, but
It's the opposite of Spring. The start with Spring, it's like it throws in the kitchen sink and.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So it has its own idea, its own language, like so it could be useful. I played with it a little bit, but got to a point where it's whenever something starts breaking, it's like you're tied into the generation of the code. And it supports all kind of different technologies to the point where I think it's too many because they're not all well supported. So instead of focusing on certain ones, yeah. Then another one from a productivity point of view that is interesting. I think the guys from JMix once came to the PJUG when it was JMix once used to be called the Cuba framework. And many years ago, somebody came here from the company. So now they rebranded them themselves JMix. So it's built on top of Spring Boot, and it has a nice GUI to generate it. It will reverse engineer a database. Um, it's almost like I don't know, imagine the GUI of Microsoft Access or something like that. Um, and it is essentially a plugin of IntelliJ IDEA. That's how it's developed. But the framework, and then on top of Spring, it has its own framework, which is on top of Vaadin. So a lot of dependencies. The 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 what do you call JMix is open source, but then the tooling you have to pay a monthly fee. So I don't know. I played around with it. It's promising, but then I went to something else. Then I found out about this Bootify. So let's go back to that one. And it's a really cool tool where you can either design the entities with GUI. I'll just show in a second. In fact, most of it, don't worry, it's not a presentation here. Most of it will be hands-on, where you just put the entities and then it generates all the code of a complete application that is, you literally download it, compile it, and it works. And it's really easy. Or if you already have a database, all you have to do is get the DDL, you import it, and you're done. And it creates everything for you. So we'll go through all the options that it offers. Yeah, this is okay. Yeah, and there's a free plan. So if you want to play with it, just sign up for it. Actually, you don't even need to sign up for it. You can all the settings get set in a cookie, so you don't even have to sign up. So I would definitely recommend trying it a little bit because it's pretty cool. I am on the professional plan, which gives you some more options like Spring Security and other things that makes it more interesting. And yeah, and I'll show you just what it does because it creates everything for you. So yeah, let's see, bootstrapping. Let's do it. Oh yeah, so one of the questions, since I already did a presentation, I actually had the author respond to me and it was like, how does it actually work behind the scenes? There's no AI involved. All the setup, everything is in JSON for each project, like I mentioned, and then it is in the cookie. And then essentially it's a bunch of free market templates that he has set up. And yeah, it's really fast. I mean, we'll see in a second, actually. If we can find a chair here. So let's go check it out. Oops. Uh, here we go. So this is the website. And let's try opening a project. Continue the last project. So this was some entities. So first you have the main screen. Can you guys see there? Yeah. Well, some is basic stuff like project group and name, just like similar to start.spring. And then you can choose the build type. You can do Kotlin if you wanted to. I haven't tried it much because I'm not really familiar with it, but and then you have a bunch of choices. So if you choose none, essentially you'll get all the REST services for it. But you can also get a front end, and these are all the ones you can choose. So we already have some demos, but I don't know. Do you guys want to see one of these in particular?
Was it create a separate front-end app or?
Yeah.
is it create- Oh,
Well, so if you choose time time leaf, they're all integrated, but yeah, it depends. Well, so if it's JavaScript front end or something like Angular or React, then it's part of the same project, but then you can choose.
I
You can either start it as boot run, or you can also deploy it separately.
Well, the static part, it just packages it with the service into the resources.
Yeah, as a web app. Yeah, actually, I can show you the React one. I already had tried the React and Bootstrap.
Nobody has a preference, like say Angular with tailwind.
Ooh.
Is that okay? We could try it. If you guys are Angular and Tailwind, yeah, you can convince them to use it. Then there's for the database migration, there are a few ways that you can do it. And oops, I know. First, you choose which database. So what's interesting is, well, we'll see later when in the entities, but you can import any DDL. But the cool part is you can import DDL from say Postgres, and then here you just switch to a different database. Could be even Mongo if you want it, and it will actually switch it on the fly for that DDL. So a different syntax. So you can convert from one database to another like super fast with relations and all that. And I use mostly Postgres and H2 if I need something quickly, just try around. Because so don't have to worry about database, but I have Docker running, so you'll see in a second you can get a Postgres database running really quickly. Then for database generation, also here you have a different options. So if you have a DBA that is a very controlling person, like we had Wells Fargo, definitely choose none. Otherwise, you can migrate all the DDL with the Hibernate or Flyaway or Liquibase. I like Flyaway because the syntax, you can see later when we'll inspect a little bit the code, the syntax is just SQL. With Liquibase, does a bunch of XML that is really ugly to look at. And Hibernate, you don't see anything at all. And naming strategies. I don't. Oh, no more. This one I usually don't mess around with. This one, you can do stuff like pluralize table names or not. You can put a prefix, suffix. Usually, I don't care about that. One cool feature, going to add to all the entities, to all the tables, add a date created, last updated. Just it's one click. Then the preferences, I don't know. Who's for YAML? Who's for properties? Let's see. Yeah, left hand for YAML, right hand for properties. No, what do you guys use? What actually, I'm curious to hear what people are more. Is YAML. And so yeah, okay. All right, I'm the only one in properties. No, I've used both, but yeah. And then here, packages. That's the interesting part that we're discussing a little bit earlier about how to structure the code. And usually, until a week ago, I would say if you're using an AI tool, well, if you're in a small team, do technical. If it's a larger team, maybe mixed or domain driven, that's dictated at the company level. So whatever you're more familiar with. If you're using a AI tool, lately would have been domain driven would have been better because you could focus on one part of the app to change something and the context would have been smaller. But as of a week ago that I start using Cloud Code, it doesn't matter. Choose whatever you want to use and
I
it
don't
will understand.
understand. So what is technical versus domain driven? I get a sense of domain driven. Like separate folders, package locations.
Yes, okay, let's look at it. Let's look at the code generation. So I'll skip to the where it actually generates the code. Let's start with technical. So explore, just like in Start. Oh, you see the code even before you download it. So let's go. This is basically everything it generates. This is what's downloadable. But so if you go in source, main, Java, and then here you can see so technical will be the controller is in one folder, and then domain, another one, the models, the DTOs, repositories, the REST services. So that's technical. And then if we, I'm sorry?
Could you scroll up?
Oh, sure.
Is the domain, is
Oh.
the model inside the domain?
No, it's their own. So this is the technical. So
Okay,
The separate file.
yeah.
right. So if you want it, so let's just do, that's a nice thing. So you want to try something else? All you have to do is, where were we here? Domain driven. Let's try that one. See, it just regenerated everything. So it's pretty fast. Let's look at it here. So now, so this was an app that I just set some dumbbells or some one of them we switched the weight. So it's trying to do a tracker for that. So it was like an exercise tracker. So now it's by domain. So if it's like, let's say for the user, we're gonna see the user stuff. Everything is in one folder. Or so this is the entity, the DTO, the mapper, everything. So and this is what they were recommending with a week old AI tools, because let's say you want to do some changes on the user level, you just open up this one directory and you don't have to look at the rest of the application. And then actually I'm curious that
Is this just generated from the database schema? You
Yeah.
imported a schema. and-
I import, yep, they did everything. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm presuming that the controllers are just gonna be empty at this point.
No, it does everything.
All right.
No, here, let me show you. Let me show you a controller. Well, actually, I think I eliminated well, the only front end here is JavaScript. So really it is it's called it resource. The controller is called resource. And it's actually a REST controller. So yeah, you can see it here. So actually, no, this implements entire code. It's not just scaffolding. This will run. This will work. And I'll show it in a second running. I mean, it does everything. And I think the quality of the code is pretty good. So you have a service that interfaces the DTOs that it gets from the client into entities and all that. So it has a mapper to help for the conversion. In this case, it's just, I think it just, yeah, simple using mapping, which is from Mapstruct. So just using that one library. And yeah, this is the entity. So this is optimized for Hibernate. And then you have the DTO, the transfer object. And yeah, and this is, yeah. So let's try that mixed. I'm kind of curious to see if you do mixed, what happens.
Want a chair? Should I bring you a chair over there?
Yeah, maybe it could be easier.
My iPhone.
Already, it's smaller than I thought it would be. Yeah, easier. Okay. So let's see what happened. So use, oh, it mixes both. Okay, so first it's by domain. So for example, to manage users, and then within the user, it splits it by technical. So I mean, this could be a little bit on overkill in a smaller project, but probably this would be the way to go in a bigger one. Yeah, actually, the application that I had, we kind of did this was the natural. I didn't know it was called mix, but this is what I ended up doing. So we had four or five of these higher levels, and then broke it down this way. So anyway, so that's how you can set up your directories. Let's see what other options we have here. Oh yeah, here's a really cool one. So since we have REST services, you want to get a full open API Swagger UI generated for you. All you have to do is click on this. So it does a little bit of, you can see in the build a little bit of configuration. It's not much, but you're set. I mean, it's just ready to go. And then the cool one is Docker Compose for development. So if you choose that one, let's go back at look at so it does create a Docker Compose file for you for a database. If you said that you wanted caching, it also does which one is for session caching? The Redis. So it will put everything in here, whatever is needed. They're working on Kafka. They doesn't have it yet, but it's so you just run it and it's already set up. So when you do great old W boot run, it will bring it up by automatically. In fact, one of the things that I changed by hand, let's go in resources. Yeah, by default, it only starts it. And what doesn't have it in here? No. Huh. TDL validate. Maybe it's somewhere else. Oh yeah, start only. So usually I change that to start and stop. So it's a little bit easier. Otherwise, you have to go in Docker and kill it. Um, and then let's go back to the other options. Multi-module setup. That one I actually don't use a whole lot. Actuator is just to have inspection points. These Hatios REST for if you want to use that one. How you say it? Hatios. Um, this is something I usually choose Mapstruct. Otherwise, it puts a lot of its own code. I prefer to use the Mapstruct library. Uh, then you can even do separate the service and service interface if you want it. And you can add mail service. So if you have an application that needs to send out emails, it'll just set up that one, ask a few questions about the host user and all that stuff. And then you still have to put some credentials in somewhere by hand, but it has a boilerplate for that one too. And okay, any questions on this part? No. So let's go to entities. This is where the fun start. Let's see. Yeah.
This is
So
what you started with.
yeah, so literally I just came here. I did import schema. It's something, some schema that I had AI tool generate for me, and then I tweaked a little bit. Let me see if I can find it. Did I think? I don't know where it is. I have to look up for it. All of them. So you can import with any database you want or any decent SQL. Yeah, but then, okay, let's go back to general. So you can import it, say, with Oracle, but then when you want to generate the code, so first it just it converts it immediately to internal entities, like its own formatting for entities. Then when it actually generates it, it regenerates it. So it doesn't use what you entered. It regenerates it. And then, so here's the cool part. You can start with an Oracle database, and in a few seconds you can have any of these.
Well, relational will be relational.
It-
I'm just thinking about craziness of dynamics, which is
We could, you want to try it?
Well, you probably have to do it specifically for DynamoDB and not transfer it to like MongoDB. So although
Well, actually, you know what? I never tried this. Now I'm kind of curious. So I started with a DDL from SQL. Uh, Mongok. Okay, this is new territory for me. Let's see what it generates since it's all you have to. Well, I'm really curious to see what happens, I guess. I'm curious. So let's see resources. Maybe in config. Mongo config. Oh, there. That's where it's set up. So you have used Mongo? Oh, okay. Well,
Is there, what's the repositories, like?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait, did it choose repos?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in mixed.
This is
So,
like the MongoDB, is it extending?
Yeah, that one.
oh, there you go. Yeah. Well, just that's it.
Let's use the Spring Data for the abstraction.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mongo repository under. Yeah. But I'm curious. So yeah, there's no. But I wonder how it creates a database then. The initial creation may. Oh, before execution. Oh, there you go. Check this out. Yeah, that's where it creates the database. Yeah. So that could be a good use case. Yeah. If you have a one type of database or the other way around, yeah, you can switch pretty easily. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then no, I'm telling you, some parts of this tool can really save you weeks of work. But here's the cool part. So now I'm under test, and you have, like when you use the Spring Boot one, it just creates a context load, and that's it, right? Here it does all the unit tests for all the data that we've seen. It actually generates the data for you. It has sample data that already has some. Here, check this out. Oh yeah, it creates all the. It has JSON for simulating all the REST requests with actual dummy data, but it's something. Then you can extend it, but it starts with something. Um, yeah, and it has unit tests for all the REST calls. So this can also save you quite a bit of time. Let's see, let's go back. Oh yeah, so as far as since you're asking about database, so if you use Flyaway, and then you do the data here is under resources data, and here you go. So you have all the. Oh wait, I'm under test. So actually, yeah, it does create DML for putting test data, but where it's actually here you go under main, you have the DDL to create the database. So again, I think it would be a pretty cool tool for migrating from one database to another. And let's see, let's continue down that way. Okay, we did entities. So yeah, so entities you can import, but then you can go in and you just click on each entity and you can delete or add fields. You have all the data types from Java, and then from there you can, yeah, it will just know which database you're going to. Oh, this was the bug that I found that I had put OA with a capital A off, and that was tricking Hibernate. So once I changed to this, then it worked. But yeah, so here you just, and you can just start from creating the entities here. So if you don't have a database already, you just start creating entities here. And what you do is you can specify here if you want the front end or not. So in this case, we have a front end that there's React. So all it really needs is REST calls. But if you time leaf, then it will create the more traditional servlet type controllers that you have in Spring. Yeah. Oh, and then of course you have relations. So you can do many to one, one to one, one too many too many, all of that. And yeah. Any questions about entities? No? Uh,
I can see this being really useful. Yeah, like medium, small project.
yeah, no, it's yeah. DTOs, yeah, you guys are fairly large ones, yeah. Yeah, and also I could see where people are maybe React front-end developers, whatever, and they don't know much about Java, and they have a database. I know that there are tons of tools in Python, whatever they can use, but this one it could get you a full REST backend like in seconds. Uh, DTOs usually it automatically creates for one for each entity. You could create more, and enums I haven't really played with that. Here are the controllers. In this case, they're all auto-created and they cannot be deleted because, again, the front end requires them, but you can create more. And then here, this is a paid feature. So if you're just playing around with it, you will not get security. And like I heard from a really good instructor once, security is hard. So for this demo, I don't do it. But I can show you here for another project. Instead of using React, I was using the timely front end. And for that one, I did do security. And this is the one I almost got it to work. This is the one that he fixed the bug at 4 a.m., but I'm having an issue with my Google setup. So this is what you set up, the different types of security. Um, so basic, you just get the form. GWT is for REST, form-based for timely front end. Or actually, yeah, one of the cool things that integrates with Docker setup is you can even run a Keycloak resource server. So that's a full OIDC solution that is open source. So if you're not leveraging a Google or corporate solution, you can have a server running in no time.
What, could you explain Keycloak? That sounds
Oh,
interesting.
yeah, it is. Actually, I didn't have it ready for today. I did it in the previous demo. So Keycloak is a full open source implementation, and it's a pretty heavy implementation of the entire spec, but it also comes with a GUI. So if you want to manage users, it does everything. You can install it locally, but managing is not trivial because it is a full-blown implementation of a bunch of standards and yeah, I don't know who's using it in production but it's you could be interesting to find out who does, but
And
uh,
so I'm not into Spring Boot much.
But-
When you hit go on this, it makes a Spring Boot project that
Mm.
you could add your own security layer if like
oh yeah, anything you do, yeah, right.
It's no big deal. But no, it's yeah.
Yeah, you can either just oh yeah, so if you have the free version, yeah, you can just
But it's
without
like
security and then you
regular
add it
vanilla
yourself.
Spring Boot on the other, like when you generate the code.
Oh yeah, I mean the code is all 100% Spring Boot.
Okay.
So unlike other solutions, like I was mentioning earlier, say JMix or whatever, this is all standard I mean, Spring, Spring Boot. It does use other open source libraries, but it absolutely zero of its own code. So you're not tied. So if this guy disappears tomorrow, you still have working code. I mean,
So you say it uses other open source libraries. If I
Oh.
went to the Spring whatever IO website to create a Spring Boot project, that has a limited set of dependencies that, this is
Right.
like a superset of that. This is
so this one picks them for you.
Uh-huh.
So actually, there's a screen where you can even add them manually if you wanted to, but you can just as well download the project, start it, and then you can add whatever implementation. So this is what it picked for this project. So this was using timely front end. So
What I'm saying, I'm sorry, just to clarify,
Yeah.
like, if you look at this as being a menu and then you place an order, this is a bigger menu, right?
well, it's more let's see, I don't know, provide you some ingredients and then you can add more. But-
Spring IO can give you just like hello world. That's it.
Sure,
It'll
right.
set the project correctly. This here is like But he set you up with
Oh, yeah.
controllers for CRUD operations, and all that stuff.
Say you want burrito. I'm sure you want some tortilla, some. So now you put that together for you, now if you go put some ketchup, that's your thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can add other dependencies here. You can, I mean, once you have the code, you can do whatever you want with it. So, but already all the basics are here. I mean, and then some. And it is they upgrade very aggressively the version, so they already have the latest and greatest. I think they're just slightly behind on Gradle, but that's okay. But everything else, they keep it up to date. And so what the two ways to get the code. So this is kind of the online preview. All you have to do is do download and you get the code, or it also has Git integration. So if you have any repository there, you just put the API key and you can set it up either once a month or whenever you choose manually. It will put it in a certain branch, so then you can get the updates from there if you want to.
Does this tool have a use beyond the initial generation of the application?
Well, I guess yeah, with this feature you could keep up to date, let's say once a month or whenever you feel like it. One, say, target branch. So if you want to, you could just use it to get all the updates on all the dependencies. I mean, if you don't have Dependabot running,
Does this have an ongoing use beyond the initial generation
uh,
starter project?
I mean, I would say it mostly as initial, but
Okay, so basically you would do your, just like with the Spring Boot starter, you generate your
Right.
product, load it into your local dev environment and run from there. It's just this provides a fuller, richer app than
right,
the Spring Boot starter does.
yeah. Well, I mean, I could see, we're growing the project. Initially, you have these are the entities, and then you start adding more entities later. You just regenerate, and then you merge it, and you get all the new entities. So I could see ongoing for that one too, but or you can also another one, yeah, you can change security. So you start with I don't know, now this one you want another security. You can have multiple ones. So that one's for the form. I don't know. You want to add another one or change it. You can do it for that. But yeah, depends. I mean,
Now it's a little bit like, is it your project? Or
no. I'm just a user of this one.
Seems like
Huh.
this is a layer on top of the Spring Visualizer.
Okay, so you were late, so I can go back for a second to the. So I did talk. I did ask a question. How does this work? Here you go. Here, let me see. I can move. There you go. Yes, how it actually works. This is what I got from the author of the tool. So essentially, it's all the setups, all the screens that I've been going through. They're all stored in JSON in the cookie, so it's all on the client side. I think there's a copy on the back end too. Uh, and then it's using free market templates. And
That how long will last though, all the AI stuff? Because
so actually that's something we did go briefly back and forth. Is that right now it's 100% AI free. I could see the value of this. Yeah, and actually himself, he said he does not know what's going to happen in 1 or 2 years because it could change completely. It could be that all you need is some really long tool, like what do you call it? The setup for an AI, like I don't know if yeah, with Claude now you have the Claude file that you said, or even with OpenAI ones, you just go in detail what you want. So you could just build up the specs or get the specs from Spring Boot or Spring, and then just say, hey, this is what I want. I think eventually we'll get there, but. I don't know. Right now, having a tool like this, even though we're getting closer with AI, the nice thing about this one is deterministic. See, with AI, that's the big problem. 99% of the time might work, but then
well, you have to be really good with content, right? So if I tell
th-
whatever AI tool that, hey, this is my model, this is my attributes,
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how good you are with your prompting, it's still non-deterministic.
Yeah.
This one is for me, I don't know, it's still a big one because you know you're gonna get working code. Or like last night, I found a bug in their social integration. I found, yeah, actually that one I tried Cloud Code to fix it and it was not able. I had to go manually and I suggested, but then within hours he fixed it. Um, so yeah, I mean we're getting there, but not yet. Right, yeah, to me that's a big plus. I mean, even though AI is taking over, but oh, you can even, yeah, you can share the link. So if anybody here wanted to open this project, if right now they're really quick at copying that URL, they can have access and they can play around with it. If somebody's interested, let me know. I'll share it. Oh no, no, don't worry about it. So let me see. I think that's about it. So maybe it's time to try running some code. Well, okay, so I already downloaded this one. Let's see. Let's try the one with the React front end since that's what I had open. Let me make sure that's where I was. Yeah. Uh, okay, I'll have to find out how it never done that before. So let me just okay, let me make sure the containers are stopped. View
Command and plus.
command plus. All right. Ah,
Is the container just for your database?
right now, yeah. So it's whatever you have. It depends. So if I chose Keycloak, it would put that one. If you decided to have a Redis cache, it would put that one in. So it's whatever is in yeah, right. So well, it's in Docker Compose. So whatever you put in there, that's what it's gonna start. And the Spring Boot build file already has that thing that starts Docker. So let's see that one and that.
Wait, could you say that a Spring Boot build file will start the app in Docker?
Yes.
Like, okay,
Spring Framework will detect. if it's a
So-
File, but not, if the property has, it will fire off until Firefox syncs.
Yeah, so I can show you. Well, let me see, where's the... Yeah, I'm not sure which library does that. Me, no.
I think it's native Spring Boot. I think.
Oh, dog, there you go.
Yeah.
So this is only development, but yeah. And then, yeah, you can see in the YAML, oh, come on, go away. Oh, no, in resources. So then you can have this.
oh yeah, you sort of said it.
Yeah, so it does work. I mean, yeah. So, okay, start the application. So let's load it up. It's on 8080. There you go. So this is what it generated. And let me see if I had the test data. So, okay, one thing I added with Claude was some actual data that it puts not just for testing, but already in. So this is AI generated test data. Um, and so you have a full CRUD application. Of course, improve the GUI, can do stuff, but yeah, as you can see, this is a little bit more than the start.spring.io because this is all, I didn't write a single line of code and you have a CRUD. One thing that I think is missing that I would like that could be a good selling point for them would be having a master detail type of screen. It doesn't do it. So it just does one entity at a time. But I did try adding some with Claude and it worked almost one shot at it. So maybe we can see in the other one. But yeah. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, and then at the interesting part, it does do, oops, this for you. So you can look at the Open API. This is just standard libraries that generate that, but you can, I tried to actually have an example. For example, I fed this into another code generator to get the Python front end or client, and it did a few interactions, but I can show you a Python front end or client. So yeah, if you have other people on the team that do React or Angular or whatever, they can do it. Just give them that. Yeah, so and I forgot the URL, but you can get the JSON for it. So
Render.
yeah. All right. So yeah, I mean the CRUD is fairly basic, but yeah, it covers everything. Um, any questions on this part? Or anything you'd like to see?
Curious about the code structure where the React stuff is in relation to the Spring stuff. We had that, I need to go down that.
Let's go see. So it's under main web app. And this is the entry point. And then you have, I don't know, any directors you want?
Okay.
It does it all. And for somebody who's never coded React, this is pretty impressive. So, oh yeah, there you go. Those are all the paths. Let's say for user info, you have listing, the model. If you want to edit it. Yeah.
Cool. Very good.
And where is the tool chain to build the static, the React specific, so there is NPM.
Oh, it's so yeah, it's part of the build. The build will automatically install the npm, I believe, if you don't have it. I know so the first time you run the build, it's a little bit slower, but there you go. No, oh no, you need Node. But I don't know which dependency based on this will download Node for you if you don't already have it, and it will run it. And first time I did it, I did not have it, and it just worked. And but of course, if you have it, oh yeah, and there you go, register the npm run build. There you go.
The plugins, scroll up beside the plugins, some of them.
Oh, let's see which one will be the plugins there. Docker post.
No, not as a dependency, but as a plugin. Like if you scroll up.
Those are the dependencies. They're all there. Oh, wait. Yeah, sorry. Here, plugins, right? Oh, there you go. GitHub Node Gradle. No, so this is the one. Yep.
All the Italian people are kind of super able.
Well, I know those guys. And as far as as far as other features, he also has a board up for the roadmap. So this is kind of nice to monitor what he's working on. So like social logins was just added. React was just added a few months ago. I guess now he's working advanced multi-module setup. I'm not really interested, but uh, this is interesting. Oh, import of Open API spec. All right. You could do spec first instead of yeah. Oh, there you go. This could be interesting to you, Spring GraphQL. So yeah. Hey, maybe tell Netflix that they need it and maybe send him some money and he'll have it in no time.
One person did this, or is like
One person. No, he's good.
library or Netflix uses GraphQL for all the client through the gateway, and then it's all gRPC internal.
But it's not Netflix internal. I mean,
No.
not internal.
It was,
It was.
DGS, yeah, they used to
Yeah,
be.
they used a thing called DGS, which was their GraphQL job implementation.
Yeah, he has.
GraphQL, which is basically, it basically took the same idioms, and now it's like, Netflix is they'll be using that service instead of their own internal.
What is Lombok library and or what is that? Is that?
Oh, Lombok is some annotations that let you do getters, setters, and all that stuff. But
And where is that?
oh,
What?
oh, what they're adding. So it's already supported. I'm not sure what was it.
Checkbox. Just go down a little bit.
Is it down?
Right here. Yeah, required,
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
When Lombok is enabled for a Java project, the required arcs constructor notation should be used when possible. Okay, it's a very specific use case.
Yeah. Yeah, are you using value? Are you using data objects? Or, yeah.
It does
So-
support Lombok out of the box.
Out of pocket.
Those are additional features of additional.
Okay, yes.
So one of the Java guys that I follow wrote an article, I think it was about 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, and he said Lombok is now an anti-pattern. Agree or disagree?
I mixed feeling.
You need some sorts here.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
will
know.
tell you that I prefer record objects now, and it's built into the language, but I
Yeah,
still,
right, well.
I still like using Lombok to build builders and do withers and that sort of thing with records.
I was gonna say that,
And it just saves time, that's all, and so it's kind of like I kind of drifted towards a hybrid, where I use record objects and I don't try not to use value at all.
I wouldn't be surprised if records get withers.
Yeah.
I guess in the future.
Right, yeah.
So one of my main issues for Lombok is do this and then to be able to change my, settings if I want to.
To get the fluent API. Yep, exactly.
Set.
Yep.
Yeah, I started using it and then I had one little issue and I said, I'm done. If that guy says it's anti-pattern, it is for me. He's way more knowledgeable than I am, and if he said no. But
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, Cindy, yes. That's where I learned all my Llama.
yeah. Well, unless you guys have any more questions, I think we can wrap it up. Oops, that one. Let's see. Was it anything? All right. Enjoy.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thanks so much, Jen.
Okay. There. This time.
How's that? Whatever is left of it. Your board read?